Welcome to the Wisdom of Sex with Dr. Wisdom. I'm your host, Dr. Heather Wisdom, licensed mental health counselor and author of The Wisdom of Sex for Men, and I'm excited to announce that my new book, The Wisdom of Sex for Neurodiverse and Disabled, is available on Amazon. And that's what this episode is all about. Today's episode is a special one. We're diving into the insights and key messages from my latest book, The Wisdom of Sex for Neurodiverse and Disabled, Unlocking Confidence, Building Connections, and Redefining Sexuality for those with neurodivergent diagnoses or disabilities. Sexuality is a universal part of being human, but for individuals with disabilities or neurodivergence, it's often misunderstood or ignored entirely. That's why this conversation is so important, because everyone deserves the right to experience intimacy, love, and connection on their own terms. Let's break down the myths, share practical strategies, and redefine the narrative around disability, neurodivergence, and sexuality together. Get cozy on the couch and let's jump in. Before we begin, let me explain neurodivergent because it is a newer term. The term neurodivergent was coined in the late 1990s by Australian sociologist Judy Singer, a key figure in the neurodiversity movement. Singer used the term in her work to describe neurological differences as a form of human diversity rather than pathology. Neurodivergent refers to individuals whose neurological development and functioning differ from what is considered typical or neurotypical. This term encompasses a variety of conditions, including autism spectrum disorder, attention deficit/hyperactivity disorder, ADHD or ADD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, Tourette's syndrome, and others. Neurodivergence is not a disorder but a variation in how the brain processes information, learns, and interacts with the world. People who are neurodivergent may experience unique strengths, such as creativity, hyperfocus, or innovative thinking, as well as challenges, such as difficulties with social interaction, executive functioning, or sensory processing. And a side note, when I say disability, I am including not only physically but mentally as well. The unseen disability. Mental health disorders such as bipolar, borderline personality disorder, severe anxiety, and depression. So now that you understand the basics of neurodivergent, let's start by addressing the elephant in the room: society's misconceptions about disability and neurodivergence when it comes to sexuality. There's this pervasive myth that people with disabilities or neurodivergent traits are asexual or somehow childlike. It's a damaging narrative that erases the rich and complex experiences of these individuals. When was the last time you saw a disabled or neurodivergent person portrayed as desirable or in a romantic relationship in media? These portrayals are rare, and when they do exist, they often lean into stereotypes rather than reality. The truth is, people with disabilities and neurodivergence are just as capable of having desires, intimacy, and relationships as anyone else. But because they're excluded from the narrative, they're often left out of essential conversations about these topics. This is why advocacy and education are so critical. We need to challenge these outdated beliefs and replace them with the obvious. People with spinal injuries, spina bifida, MS, autism, and severe mental health conditions have desires and do have sex. Now let's talk about a unique but often overlooked aspect of sexuality for neurodivergent individuals: sensory preferences. Sensory experiences like touch, sound, and lighting can significantly impact intimacy for someone with ADHD or autism. Imagine trying to enjoy a romantic moment when the lights are too bright or a scratchy fabric makes you feel uncomfortable. Sensory overload is real, and it's something many neurodivergent people deal with regularly. Strategies for creating sensory-friendly environments. For instance, dim lighting, soft fabrics, or soothing scents can create a space where intimacy feels safe and enjoyable. Open communication is also key. Telling your partner what feels good and what doesn't helps foster trust and understanding. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to intimacy. It's about finding what works for you and your partner. Self-advocacy is another major theme in the book. For people with disabilities or neurodivergence, advocating for your own needs, desires, and boundaries can feel intimidating, especially if you've faced shame or bias in the past. But here's the truth: no one knows your body or your needs better than you. Advocating for yourself doesn't mean being pushy. It means being honest about what you want and what you're comfortable with. A simple tool I recommend is practicing I statements. For example, I feel more comfortable when we dim the lights, or I need a moment to process before moving forward. These statements help you communicate clearly and respectfully while maintaining control over your own experience. Let's take a moment to talk about navigating physical disabilities in the context of intimacy, especially when pain is a factor. This is an area that many people feel unsure or uncomfortable addressing, but it's imperative to have open and honest conversations about it. Pain can significantly impact one's ability to engage in sexual activity or intimacy in the ways they might want. For individuals with physical disabilities, conditions like chronic pain, joint issues, or limited mobility can create additional challenges, but intimacy isn't just about traditional sexual activity. It's about connection, creativity, and mutual understanding. Physical disabilities and chronic pain can present unique challenges in the realm of intimacy, but these challenges do not mean intimacy is unattainable. For individuals living with pain or physical limitations, open communication, creativity, and adaptability are essential to fostering fulfilling connections. Pain, when left unaddressed, can overshadow intimate moments, but with the right strategies, intimacy can be reframed and reimagined to align with both comfort and connection. Communication is the cornerstone of navigating physical disabilities in intimate relationships. It is important to be open with your partner about what feels good and what doesn't. Discussing discomfort or limitations might feel daunting, but it fosters collaboration and care. For instance, saying, "This position causes strain," or "Can we try something more comfortable?" invites your partner to participate in finding solutions. These conversations help build trust and ensure that both partners feel supported and valued. Make it fun. Sex should be enjoyable, not serious. Laugh about mistakes while finding the right position. This can take the pressure off, relax both you and your partner, and enhance the experience. Adaptive tools and aids can make intimacy more accessible and enjoyable for individuals with physical disabilities or chronic pain. Positioning cushions, adjustable beds, or assistive devices such as hands-free vibrators can help reduce strain and provide physical support. These tools are not signs of weakness or inadequacy, but resources that empower individuals to prioritize their well-being and enhance connection. Exploring these aids together can also introduce an element of playfulness and discovery into intimate moments. It's also important to reframe the concept of intimacy beyond traditional sexual activity. For many individuals with physical disabilities, activities like sensual massage, gentle touch, or simply cuddling can be deeply fulfilling. These acts of connection allow partners to focus on emotional closeness without triggering pain or discomfort. Redefining intimacy in ways that are accessible can open doors to new forms of bonding that honor physical needs and personal boundaries. Seeking professional guidance can also provide invaluable support. Physical therapists, occupational therapists, or sex therapists with expertise in disability and intimacy can offer tailored advice and suggest specific techniques or tools to accommodate physical challenges. Consulting a professional not only helps address pain, but also empowers individuals to approach intimacy with confidence and creativity. Finally, self-compassion and pacing are key. Pain management requires a deep understanding of your body's limits, and it's okay to take breaks, adjust plans, or focus on smaller moments of connection. Respecting your body's needs doesn't diminish intimacy, it enhances it by ensuring that every interaction is rooted in comfort, care, and mutual understanding. Pain or physical limitations may alter the way intimacy is approached, but they don't eliminate the possibility of meaningful, fulfilling connections. By embracing adaptability, prioritizing communication, and utilizing the resources available, individuals and their partners can build an intimate life that celebrates creativity, comfort, and mutual respect. Remember, your comfort and agency matter. Pain can be a barrier, but it doesn't have to define your intimate experiences. Together with your partner, you can discover what works best for your body and your relationship, embracing the beauty of adaptability and mutual care. Well, our time is up for this extra episode and a look at my new book. There is so much more in the book that I didn't cover. Thank you so much for joining me today on The Wisdom of Sex with Dr. Wisdom. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this episode, it's that sexuality is a universal right. Whether you're neurodivergent, disabled, or navigating a unique journey, your experiences, desires, and boundaries are valid. If today's conversation resonated with you, I encourage you to check out my new book, The Wisdom of Sex for Neurodiverse and Disabled. It's filled with strategies and insights to help you unlock confidence, build connections, and embrace your sexuality. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, share it with a friend, and leave a review. Together, we're creating a space where everyone feels seen, heard, and empowered. Until next time, I'm Dr. Heather Wisdom, reminding you to embrace your sexuality. Be curious, don't be rude, know your limits, and stay wise. Take care.